Iowa game at home, you know, we always do my pregame stuff, and Tommy always comes out there too. So we were just shooting around, and Tommy was hitting a bunch of threes, like just shooting around by himself and like knocking them down. He's like feeling real good, feeling himself. I was just sitting down on the bench. He's like, man, if I hit a three tonight, I'm gonna throw up like 3 goggles. And I was like, no way you would possibly do that. There's 0 chance. And then he gets in the game. He hits 2 threes, and then right by our bench, hits the 3 goggles in front of me and Evan. We started going nuts. And it was, I can't believe he did it. But yeah, Tommy, that was a funny moment from this year.
When we don the gold and black, we represent something greater than ourselves. We represent a community, hardworking and humble. Folks who work until the job is done. Proud in its traditions and loyal to its values. Unrelenting, tough, tenacious, courageous.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for man.
What is a Boilermaker? It's all of us. And when we rise together, stand together, believe together, we are unstoppable. This is our team, and this is our time.
It's got to be 60 minutes, all out to win.
Underneath, Rondell Moore bounces off the tackler, and there he goes! Trying to get away from Barnes, but he can't. Action. Doro. Third effort, touchdown.
Are you kidding me? Threads the needle to Hopkins for the touchdown.
That was a great move. That's huge.
He's down on ankle. 2 on Labriola. That's another takedown for Leidy. Manoa's got the leg here. That's it.
It's a new day and an exciting day.
Purdue has a new head Boilermaker out
one of the most innovative offensive masterminds in college football.
We're going to make sure every day we come in and we're the most hungry person in the building. Meaning, you got to want it. It's got to mean something to you. It's got to be important.
Gotta push me to the edge. Now I gotta push you off the ledge. Shot me in the heart.
Down the middle and caught one a catch. There's some points.
They don't understand how real rebel bread. Came from the bottom, now I'm up like a lead. Stay in the front.
Mahomes makes the catch and fights in.
Haitian Gucci demonstration.
Knocks in the clear.
Is abrasive and viewed by your hatred. And then shoot through perception. Stay true to my essence. See Schroder in my efforts.
More in space.
And new to these stresses. I do from the stretch. And my truth is infectious. I do this to improving my methods.
Bobinsky double move. He got him.
He won't take it.
Who can score? And Justin makes the catch.
This is there. George Karlaftis, the freshman.
Boilermakers rush the field.
I don't really remember a time I didn't have back pain. It just has always been there. It just got so much worse so fast. It wasn't even about soccer anymore. It was more like I just need to go to classes and get through my day. I think when you go through something like this, you learn so much about yourself.
Native is the first Purdue women's basketball player and just the second in Big Ten history to join the 1,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 300 blocks club.
And I hope to have left a legacy of hard work and perseverance. Thank you so much.
It's all love. I love all of y'all, and I thank all of y'all. So boiler up.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now, your Purdue Boilermaker.
I strive for freedom. I strive for peace. We've looked the other way, but now it's time to see. But I know it's never come around before.
Well, hard to get a better atmosphere than we have here tonight.
So bring it on. Just bring it on. Just take a chance and we can reach out for the sun.
I don't care what anybody says right now. This is one of the top 5 environments in college basketball.
We came for it, now it's clear our time is gone. This is the moment. We're running free. Where to begin? There's nothing left. We're on our knees. Now that we're chosen, need to believe.
Listen to this Boiler crowd. They're going wild about the arena.
Breathe. This is the moment. We're running free. Where to begin? There's nothing left. We're on our knees. Now that we're chosen.
Boilermakers rush the field. What a night in West Lafayette.
This is the moment.
I thought Matt Painter played good. I liked his contributions.
Now 4 on the shot clock. Time winding down from the outside. Painter for 3!
Hey everyone, this is Matt Painter. Doing the first segment in Boilermakers in Your Home. Crazy times going on right now. Very excited about the season. I know there's a lot of anticipation, try to get everybody back into Mackey Arena and get college basketball going again. I think it's a great time to be a Boilermaker. Can't believe this is going on my 16th year as the head coach, and been pretty excited about the things that we've been able to do, but also, excited about, doing better and hopefully winning more Big Ten championships and advancing in the NCAA tournament and getting to a Final Four. So we got our new guys on campus, and they're excited about, everything. And we're just looking forward to the year and trying to get better every single day. And probably the best memory, that I've been able to have is just in locker rooms after games and winning and seeing the sacrifices that our guys make, teammates make, and trying to help us win. And then seeing those guys go on to get a degree from Purdue and be successful, whether that's in the NBA or overseas playing basketball, or whether that's in, the business world or teaching and, whatever their careers has led them. So just excited about getting everything going again this year and sharing some of those memories and being able to continue to be proud to be a Boilermaker. I wanted to thank everybody for registering to win a St. Elmo's gift card in Boilermakers in Your Home. And the winners ended up being Kevin Sarr and Shannon Hammond. Congratulations to you two. Up next, please welcome Nate Barrett and Athletics Director Mike Bobinski.
Well, Matt, thank you very much. It's great to hear from Coach Painter, and we're very pleased to bring in our Vice President and Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Mike Bobinski. And Mike, by now, you know what I'm going to ask you. Can you give us a brief update on the state of Purdue athletics? And we know you've been a very, very busy man, just as you were the previous 2 times we've done this show.
Yes, sir. And, it's never fun to follow Matt or Jeff. I know Jeff's coming up later, but I appreciate Matt and Jeff taking time to be with us here this evening also. Nate, you're right. The last 4 months have been busy in the most unique way possible. I would never have envisioned or imagined, nor has anybody been able to envision or imagine sort of the way the world has unfolded here over these last several months. I would tell you, we've maintained and tried to maintain a very consistent position in that, we're going to place the health and safety of first of all, our student athletes, but our coaches, our staff, everybody in and around the athletic program, making sure that we do the very best job we can of taking care of them from a responsibility and safety and perspective, knowing that there are no absolutes. We can't guarantee anything, and certainly as we've brought teams back, and we've got 5 back at this point in time. We've brought 5 back at this point, and we have had positive tests. Not shockingly, not surprisingly, we have had individuals test positive, and we have followed all the established protocols. We've done all the tracing. We've done everything that was prescribed, and sort of best practice as best practices have evolved here in these last few months. And people have understood that. The really good news about it is that symptom-wise, extremely mild. We're really, as is primarily I think the experience around our entire country, is that folks in this age group, particularly our student athletes that have been positive tests, have very mild symptoms, and so that's a good news and a confirmation of what the data and science is telling us around the country. That doesn't mean you take it any less seriously, but it is good news from that perspective. The care and sort of the caution around those that are higher risk populations will remain, and we're going to be as vigilant and and provide accommodations to the greatest extent possible as we move forward. One thing I would tell you that I think is just continues to be very clear, and I've tried to deliver this message to our coaches and to our staff fairly consistently after it became obvious that this was going to be the case, is that this next year, the 2021 academic year, will not look or feel in any way like other years have. It will be different. It will absolutely be different. I think that's becoming clear and obvious to everybody. Being flexible, being adaptable, understanding that there's going to be inconvenience, there'll be imposition, there might be an absence of, in some cases, depending on how things evolve. But we all hope and are working towards minimizing that impact and making sure that we contain it to the very best of our ability, and sort of not allow this to hopefully bleed over any longer than it needs to. If it can be resolved by virtue of developments in the medical and science and treatment world or prevention world, those would be great developments. And we all stand by for the folks that are working so hard on all that. But I would just ask and encourage for all of our fans, patience and understanding. I know that we've all had our worlds affected here, and that's not, we're no different. We are part of it, trying to do the very best we can to get through this. And again, we look forward to the days when we gather as in days of old and enjoy each other's company and celebrate great competition and Boilermaker victories and Boilermaker championships, all those things that are important to us. But in the meantime, as we wrap the last of these for the summer, I just want to say one more time, thank you so much to our John Purdue Club members and everybody that supports Purdue athletics in their own way. It matters now more than ever, and I appreciate it. We appreciate it, and we absolutely will need you as we work our way through all this. So appreciate everybody sticking with us. Thank you.
With an eye toward the future, Mike, you were able to deliver some remarks recently at the Boilermaker Business Exchange golf outing where you were able to share a few thoughts on Ross-Ade renovation. And of course, we continue to see on social media the weekly progress that they're making on the new video board. But I know everyone is always anxious to get your thoughts on the video board and Ross-Ade renovation in general, looking toward the future.
Well, appreciate that, and I'll touch on the video board first. As I've said many times, I hope it doesn't turn into just a drive-in movie screen here. But it is coming along extremely well. It continues to be, a very exciting addition and development. I think just just seeing it even before it gets turned on is, to me, a very striking change and addition to Ross-Ade in a very positive way. It modernizes the look and feel of the stadium in yet another way. And so we're very excited about that element that we will add here for this fall. In terms of the larger Ross-Ade renovation project, and I did talk a little bit more about some of the elements of that, which probably today's not the place for that, but just in terms of the project in general. Like all prospective large capital projects here on campus, we've sort of put that in a holding pattern from a planning and sort of ongoing development perspective for now. There's so much other there are so many other elements that we're dealing with in terms of our operation and trying to make sure that we continue to function in an effective and efficient way, that to add a large capital project planning process and fundraising process in earnest to our plates probably doesn't make sense. Now, the need for that project and the need to improve and upgrade and prepare Ross Aid for the next 30, 35 years is not going away. That will absolutely exist. And so when the smoke clears and the fog lifts from all this around us, we absolutely intend to get back to the development and fine tuning of the plan around that renovation project, and also the fundraising, which is critical. I mean, that is how this is going to get paid for. Our timeline was always dependent upon our ability to raise funds. And so that will not change. When we actually restart the project is your guess is as good as mine, Nate, at this point in time. I don't know the answer to that. As soon as it's practical and permissible, we will do so. But I can't venture a guess as to when that might be right now. Hopefully not too far down the line, but we've got to, as I mentioned earlier, be flexible and adjust and adapt to the circumstances that are presented, and do our very best to handle our core purpose, which is providing the very best experience for our student athletes, allowing them to compete and get an education that is second to none here at Purdue. So we'll be back at it when the time is right. Just don't know exactly when that will be right now.
Mike, my daughter's been on my case about getting to the drive-in movie theater. I'm not going to get her hopes up that it'll be in Ross Aid.
Let's not do that. I don't want to even suggest that at this point in time.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight, taking a few minutes out of, I know, a very busy schedule for you. And we wish you, of course, as usual, all the very best. Hope you get some rest.
Thanks, Nate. Appreciate it very much. See you soon.
That's Mike Bobinski, our Intercollegiate Athletics Director. Jeff Brohm, our head football coach, is up next. Coach, it's great to see you. We know you've been very busy, and we're glad you could take a moment to join us tonight for this third installment of Boilermakers in Your Home. We're anxious, of course, like all your fans, to hear how preseason preparations are going for the Boilermakers. Everybody that's tuned in to this edition, Coach, had an opportunity to submit some questions, and we have our first one coming from Dan from Indiana. He wants to know, after last season, you commented on having a deep bench and some game speed experience for this coming season. How do you see that as a positive for your football team heading into this year?
We definitely feel like that last year a lot of guys got a chance to play, and they got a chance to go out there, compete, and showcase what they possibly can do for us. A lot of those guys were young. A lot of them were freshmen. We had a lot of guys on the offensive side of the ball especially step up and showcase that they have a bright future here, and we've got to continue to develop them. When you look at King Doer and David Bell and Payne Durham and Ahmad Anderson, and the list goes on and on. Jack Plummer stepped up. A lot of guys, Cam Craig stepped up on the offensive line. We feel have a very bright future, and they've done a very good job. And also on the defensive side of the ball, George Karlaftis was outstanding. Cam Allen stepped up. A lot of guys we think will continue to get better. We've got to improve in certain areas without question. We've got to continue to get better on the offensive line. We've got to make sure that we manage those guys. We've got to make sure we do the things that they do best. We've got to make sure on the defensive side of the ball that side gets better, and we're able to stop people. We're able to get off the field on third down. We're able to find ways to get turnovers. And then I think in order to win football games, you got to be good in all three segments. That's offense, defense, and special teams. And we have got to work our tails off as coaches to put a great plan in. We've got to develop our players and give them a chance to go out there and compete. But it was encouraging to see young guys step up and actually do some very good things.
Coach, in your time here at Purdue, one of the things the fans enjoy most is your play calling. And, of course, to that play calling, it highlights some of the great wide receivers that you have. And it brings us to our next question. Don from Indiana wants to hear about the receiver position. He says he knows how successful Rondale Moore and David Bell have been for the Boilermakers, but he'd like to hear about Milton Wright, Jared Sparks, and some of your other talented receivers that are practicing with your team this year.
That position is strong, and we feel great about it. We've done a good job of getting some great talent here, trying to work hard to develop those guys, continue to improve the position. I think they know that they can come somewhere and showcase what they're all about. And we've had two tremendous true freshmen step up in Rondale Moore and David Bell the last 2 years. Their true freshman year and showcase how good they can be, leading the Big Ten in receiving, and that's not easy to do. So I think young receivers see that this is an offense that they can go and display their true capabilities. But, Milton Wright did some very good things for us. He stepped in and really competed. He practices hard every day. Jared Sparks is a senior veteran that had some injuries, but when he's healthy, he's really developed, and I think he can add to the mix. And then you throw in, a core list of other guys. Jackson Anthrop's got great experience. He's heady. He competes and does a great job. Ahmad Anderson stepped up and made some big plays for us when we have receivers go down. I think you're going to see TJ Sheffield possibly emerge this year as well. He got injured midway through the year. Rashawn Rice didn't get a chance to play. And then you throw in really 4 true freshman receivers that it's going to be hard to make a dent in that lineup. But when you look at Abdur Yassim, Malik Carr, and Marcellus Moore and Colin Sullivan, those 4 guys can play football. So that is a position that we've got to spread the ball around. We got to make sure they get their touches. They got to continue to compete and get better. But we feel very good about the receiver position.
We know, Coach, you're a man of many talents, but Jeff from Indiana wants to know who mows the lawn at the Braum household.
Well, that's a great question, Jeff. You got me on this one, but I'm going to give my wife credit. She actually likes to mow the lawn quite a bit. She likes the old-fashioned push mower. Myself, I can do it, but I'm not going to lie. I don't do it a whole lot. And, we actually got a new lawn put on our house here recently, so we have someone doing it right now to make sure it's growing and getting green and watering it correctly. So, but my wife, she likes to get outside and do things, so I'll give her credit.
Very good idea. Coach, we want to announce a gift that we have here. It's a 150-year Purdue anniversary Giant Leaps helmet that was worn by your team during the 2019 homecoming game. We'd like to congratulate Kevin Sullivan from Texas. He wins that helmet. And thanks to everyone who registered for this piece of historic memorabilia. And Kevin, your helmet will be sent to the address that you indicated on your registration. With that, Coach, I know you appreciate your fans from all over the country and around the world that follow Boilermaker football, and just maybe a final word to folks like Kevin in Texas and all your fans that are very much looking forward to this fall.
Well, definitely congratulations, Kevin. We appreciate all your support, but really the entire Boilermaker faithful fan base has been great to us. We appreciate all the help we get, all the support we get at our games. I think our players, our coaches take a lot of pride in doing our part in trying to represent this university in the right way, trying to win football games, trying to make the game exciting, trying to beat some very good opponents that are on our schedule. This season, our schedule is going to be extremely tough again. We're looking forward to it. Hopefully we get the opportunity to play. But our guys are working hard right now, and the summer has gone well for us to this point. I know there's a lot of challenges with the season ahead. We don't know how it's going to play out, but I know our players are working hard to make sure they're ready to go. I know our coaches know that we've got to step up and do the best job we can because it is important to us to make our fans happy, to give them something to cheer for, and to make this game exciting and fun to watch. So we're looking forward to hopefully getting out there this fall.
Coach, we're very grateful for your time tonight. We know up next we have some student athletes from our wrestling team. Kendall Coleman and Devin Schroder will join us. But thanks again, Jeff, for taking a moment this evening, and all the best with keeping you and the team safe and the coaching staff safe in these coming weeks.
Thank you. Boiler up.
And we're very glad to welcome from our wrestling program student athletes Kendall Coleman and Devin Schroder. And guys, so great to see you. And we know you're busy. We thank you for taking some time tonight to join us. And first of all, I'll just kind of set it up for you. We usually ping pong these questions back and forth. So we'll give each of you a chance to answer and thinking about it. But we like to keep it simple and just get you introduced to our fans and supporters out there around the country. And we'll go first with having each of you. We'll start with you, Devin. Go ahead and tell us about yourself, what year you are, and what you're studying at Purdue.
Yeah, for sure. Well, he introduced myself. I'm Devin Schroder. I'm studying industrial engineering at Purdue. I'm entering my redshirt senior year, so this will be my 5th year. I'm originally from Grand Rapids, Michigan, so I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're glad to have you. And Kendall, welcome, and same to you. We want to hear all about what year you are and where you're from and what you're studying.
So, yeah, as you said before, my name is Kendall Coleman. I'm going into my redshirt sophomore year at Purdue. So it's my 3rd year being on campus. Currently, I'm at Purdue on campus, like staying in my house. But I'm from Chicago, Illinois, so it's not too far from home. But I'm studying selling and sales management.
Kendall and Devin, for both of you, we'll let Kendall lead off here. Certainly, when you get through with the season and you're looking ahead to this season, there are team goals, but there are also personal goals. Why don't you tell us about some of your personal goals for the upcoming season?
So with last season being my first season starting, I feel like after the last season, I have like a pretty good understanding of where I stand and like what I'm truly capable of. So for next season, my goal is to be a national champion. Like that's what it is, and that's what it was in last season. But I was derailed from that a little bit, not being able to compete in NCAAs, but that's still the goal. And for the team, every year I just see the team like continue to improve, and I think it's like amazing. Like I kind of got here like towards the beginning of like things started to turn around, so I think it's like really cool to see us like continue to grow as a team and us like reaching the goals that we actually set for ourselves. But definitely a team trophy next year is on my list for goals.
Well, Devin, that sets the bar pretty high. Tell us about some of your personal goals for this season.
Yeah, we talk about goals a lot, and Kendall was talking. Our team made a big step this year, top 5 Big Ten, and me and Kendall both finalists and first team All-American. But I think I can say it the same as him, that we want to take the next step to compete for national titles. So that's the goal every year, is to win it, is to win Big Ten titles, national titles, and then as a team too, we want to place top 4, get a team trophy. It's been a long time since Purdue's been able to do that. So we've been trying in the right direction. We just need to take another step forward like we've been doing. So that's the goal for sure going into next year. I agree with Kendall.
Devin, as you think about your career at Purdue, what are some of your best memories in this wrestling program so far?
There's a lot to choose from. I think one that sticks out the most is just the entire experience at Big Tens this year. You've seen a lot of guys come through and reach the potential that they've been. Like me and Kendall being in the finals, first time we've had 2 in a while. I think Kendall was the first one in the finals in a long time. Our first freshman in the finals in a long time. And there's just examples of that up and down the lineup of kids breaking through. And so I think at Big Ten this year, you saw not only did I have a good performance, but I got to watch a lot of my teammates and best friends that work so hard all year, like have great success and show the country what they can do. So I think Big Ten this year was just a great memory, just experience as a whole.
And Kendall, for you, how about a memory highlight thus far in your career as a Boilermaker?
I feel like there's like a lot of highlights, so it's kind of like hard to like pick one specific one. But I almost feel as if like the whole wrestling season is like a highlight in itself from just like the experience that you have. Like Devin can attest to it, but our preseason was like pretty hard this season, and like going through that with the whole team was like definitely an experience that like everybody's probably gonna remember that had to go through it. And also just like seeing the team like grow is really just like what I like seeing, like after you go through the preseason like we did, and then seeing everybody compete and perform and like grow as wrestlers, like, and as a team, like our culture I believe got stronger. But it's always like something I like to like sit back and think about and like go through and experience. If I had to pick one specific time was a highlight, I would say the Rutgers duel, because the atmosphere there was just like insane. It's nothing that I ever really like experienced, but Parker like pulling off the win at the end was definitely like something that I also haven't like experienced in high school or like previous to college wrestling, but I definitely remember that.
Now, Kendall, I have to ask, since you're the younger of the two, is there ever a time when you think to yourself, what would Devin do in this situation?
I don't know, not specifically off the top of my head, but there's definitely been times where I'm like, what would Devin do maybe?
Well, guys, we're glad that you could join us. And Devin, do you have any thought on that, on how you can keep mentoring your teammate going forward?
Yeah, for sure. That's one thing that I've noticed at Purdue. When you step on campus, you're like a young 18-year-old, almost boy, and then now I'm about to be a 23-year-old young adult. So you learn to become a leader and step in that role. And I think another thing that's changing from our team is that you don't have to wait till you're old to become a leader. I think we're seeing it more and more. Young guys like Kendall, Amos Sutherland, Parker Filius, Thomas Pinoli, these younger guys on the team, they're stepping forward and being leaders by example as soon as they step on campus compared to wait till they're old. And that's one thing that is definitely changing our team. That's helping the culture change as well. So for sure.
Well, guys, we're proud of both of you and what you've done already for this program. And we look forward to this season under Coach Ursulin's leadership. And we know it'll be a great year for you. But thanks for taking some time out tonight to join us. And we look forward to seeing you this year.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a wonderful evening. We'll talk with you soon.
All right, you too.
Thanks, you too.
Great to have Kendall Coleman and also Devin Schroder with us tonight. Next up, let's welcome Senior Associate Athletics Director Tim House. Tim?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tim House, and I have the privilege of being Senior Associate Athletics Director and the head of the John Purdue Club. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to Boilermakers in Your Home tonight, presented by our proud sponsor, First Merchants Bank, and of course, the John Purdue Club. I'd like to send a special thank you to all of our John Purdue Club members who tuned in tonight. You guys are the lifeblood of everything we do at Purdue Athletics. Because of you, we've been able to support over 550 student athletes during an unprecedented time of need and uncertainty. Our young people continue to get a world-class education, and they will continue to compete for Big Ten titles and national titles because of everything that you've done and everything you've provided. Whether you give $16.75 a month to be a first-team member, or if you give us millions of dollars to renovate Ross-Ade Stadium, or any gift in between, your support matters more right now than it ever has before, and we simply cannot thank you enough. If you're watching right now and you're not a John Purdue Club member yet, please consider joining us. We know the timing's not great for everyone. We're waiting here, though, when the time is right for you. We know that if we can get every Boilermaker to join the John Purdue Club and stand up and be counted as a member of our team, that we can take Purdue athletics to heights never seen before, and we are excited to be a part of that mission. As a reminder, the Burke Boilermaker Golf Complex is open for business and does offer a discount for John Purdue Club members. It is the perfect place for socially distanced business, particularly meetings with your Boilermaker athletics representative. Finally, we'd like to thank everyone for submitting their posts for the Boilermakers in Your Place social media contest. We loved seeing all of your Purdue home decor. Thank you again for everything you do, and now let's listen to a tune that many of us haven't heard in far too long. Hail Purdue. Boiler up, everyone. Have a great night.